You know what? Let's take a look at this. So, the Epstein files have been a hot topic of discussion. And I gotta tell you something, man. It's very odd to see people that spoke about how getting the Epstein files released to the public was the biggest priority and it needed to be done ASAP, talking about now how it's actually not that big of a deal. And it seems to me like the public was maybe swindled a little bit into supporting Trump under this false pretense. Because what's good with this, if you're saying, hey, Trump's gonna release the Epstein files, vote for him, and then he doesn't do that, and now you're saying, well, it's actually not a big deal that he's not going to release it. I think that makes you a lying twat. So, first person that comes to mind is Charlie Kirk.
Is kind of where
Hold on. First person that comes to mind is Charlie Kirk. I saw that he was saying he trusts the government to get the files out. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You trust the... Isn't this guy's whole thing like the government should be involved in less things and we need to hold the government accountable, like Charlie Twerk, Charlie fucking Twerk, Charlie Tweak, Charlie something? I don't even know what his deal is, but this switch up is generational and it's bad. It's a bad look. Anyway, there's another podcast, the PBD podcast. Patrick Bet David. He's like I think he did a Ponzi scheme or something, but it was legal and it was some insurance bullshit. He's worth a shitload of money. The PBD podcast is imploding over the Epstein files cover up, so he has a podcast and it's pretty big. Let's take a look at this.
I think we're headed is Charlie from Always Sunny is like, well, you know what's going on here? This guy found him and he found him, blah, 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 blah. And it turned out, bro, you haven't slept in weeks. I'm not saying that about you. I'm saying when you go down a road, but what I want to do.
He's talking about you.
Maybe I am.
Definitely talking about me.
My stupid loser friend Vinny.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let me just.
Is that guy? Show that picture, Rob. That's me, Adam. Oh my God, Adam. Somebody asking questions and connecting dots. That's who you think I am.
If you're wrong, that may very well be you.
Prove me wrong.
Well,
there's no fucking proof.
All right. So then,
where's the proof?
Okay. So then we'll go around in circles.
Go ahead.
All right, so it looks like PBD's podcast hasn't been handling the Epstein news very well. Ever since that DOJ memo about Epstein dropped, every podcast they do just turns into an argument between his co-hosts, Vinny and Adam, which is always hilarious. I mean, whenever the Epstein stuff gets brought up, Vinny is going to go off and Adam will try to gaslight him into thinking it's no big deal. We should trust the government and just move on from it.
Yeah, I don't understand how anyone truly believes. Like, imagine saying, like, you're a fucking tool bag if you've ever said trust the government. Really? I mean, where have you had your eyes open? Are you like blind and deaf and like willfully ignorant? Like, you have to be willfully ignorant at this point because there's no way you don't know about the government. Like, you think this is all sunshine and rainbows and it's like we're in Candyland. Hey, yeah, the government, they're good. Yeah, they didn't lie to us ever or do anything bad ever or manipulate the public or, cover up anything bad ever. You live in fairy tale land, dude. Like, you're a disgrace. To have a platform and to say that makes you worse than any other dumb idiot who doesn't believe that the government's hiding anything, Because you're actively lying. You're lying about the government's lying. So you're basically just like a cuck shill for the government, which is like, it's like actually worse than watching your wife get plowed. You're watching your fellow men and women of the country you live in get plowed by the fucking government. So you're a tool bag, bro. You're a jerk off. Yeah, I think that's that makes sense.
Which sets Vinny off even more. He's usually pretty fired up and passionate, but now he's taking...
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't pay taxes. I wish it was that easy.
...to another level, and Adam just eggs him on and tries to make him sound crazy for wanting answers about the Epstein stuff, which gets him going even more. But everyone seems to have his side in this. Like, all the comments are praising Vinny, and they can't stand Adam, because Adam really is insufferable. He downplays Epstein.
I used to like this show before I realized how fake your outrage has been for the past 5 years. Y'all are in the cult. Vinny is the only one that seems to be vocalizing his honest thoughts.
His operations.
What are they, like a neocon establishment, like Charlie Kirk adjacent thing?
So much. He also defends Bill Clinton and even P. Diddy. Recently, after his reported that Trump is thinking about pardoning P. Diddy, Adam's like, what did Diddy even really do that was that bad other than hit his girlfriend?
That's gotta be rage bait.
We started talking about how Trump may pardon Diddy.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility? Look, something that is very real these days is trial by media and trial by social media. We all thought Diddy was the devil. What has Diddy really done? To deserve what he's dealing with right now. Listen, again, disgusting, despicable behavior. Other than that, what has he done that has been really that bad?
So Adam doesn't give a shit about any of this kind of stuff, but Vinny, on the other hand, he's not letting the Epstein stuff go, no matter how much Adam makes fun of him for it. Like, Adam is always insulting him for caring about it, which is wild to be like, why do you care so much about a child's trafficking blackmail operation that all the elites are involved in and is used to control the government and is now being covered up. You know, Adam thinks if you care about that, then you're a broke loser, which is always the classic deflection tactic. You know, we've seen Tom Segura, Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub, and a ton of other people say this whenever they get criticized or whenever.
Other than what he did wrong, what did he do wrong? Well, actually, it's funny because when he said he did wrong, there is other shit that he did wrong. But I mean, that's enough, right? I mean, you want someone who beats his girlfriend to not be in jail? Like, it's called assault, right? So that's a crime. But it's like, other than the assault, what has he done wrong? A shitload. Are we serious? Like a literal child sex trafficking ring. You know, like he's held parties where there are things called freak-offs that last days on end with underage girls who he drugs and has famous people have sex with them just to start.
Or somebody says something they don't like, you know, they always just resort to calling them broke losers and telling them they need to get their life together, which is funny to say to people in your audience, you know, because these broke losers are helping them pay their bills. And Adam, he's also kind of taking a shot at Vinny, obviously, because he's obsessed with the Epstein files. He talks about it all the time. So Adam clearly thinks he's kind of a loser for caring.
Who even
so much
like
about
is
it.
this guy?
In my
It's not
opinion,
even his
there's a lot of
podcast.
people that are obsessed with this.
Yes.
That they have zero control over this. And these are the types of people.
Yo, I hate when people they try to criticize others for being passionate about something that deserves the passion by calling them obsessed. Yo, you're like obsessed with the Epstein files. Like, yeah, I fucking care about the thing being released that would implicate people that are currently in office, that it would show the public who they really are and their true colors would be revealed. No, yeah, but you're like obsessed, bro. Like, you're like a weird schizo. I hate that shit so much. Because what it's trying to do is that you're like crazy making someone for having a legit concern about very, very real malpractice and evil that takes place in our government.
In my opinion, that a lot of these people are what I would call losers, or as what Andrew Tate described as brokies. And they're fat, they're broke, they're losers, they can't get this, they can't get that. They're struggling with work, they're struggling in their relationships. They have nothing going on in their life, but this shiny little object they are obsessed with.
Is this guy in the Epstein files or something? Who speaks like this? What a fucking... I mean, you want to talk about a loser. Literally, you have to be one of the biggest losers of all time to not understand why child sex trafficking is bad. I'd actually argue it makes you worse than a loser, because a loser is someone who gets nothing done. You're getting something done, and it's awful. You are actively promoting the denial and downplaying of a child sex trafficking ring. That makes you a fucking loser. Hey, honey, I'm home. Hey, how was work? Oh, not bad. You know, I crazy maked a lot of people on the internet for caring about the safety of children from being exploited by the elites. And yeah, I basically downplayed most of the criticism that's taking place validly against one of the most infamous pedophiles of all time. And yeah, I called him broke and poor. Good to see you, honey.
CIA, Mossad, anybody. How disgusting and evil. If you really think about that, step back from who it is. I don't give a shit who it is, Adam. If that is your operation, holy shit, you are one of the most evil, disgusting unit operation, period. And for those little people, Adam, the ones that you think are stupid that are sitting there, they don't just want the flight logs. They want everybody that's involved to fucking go down, period. Accountability. It's simple. One word, Adam. Just like the Brennan and Comey thing. Nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing. Because Republicans go, we're investigating. Nothing is going to happen.
Vinny,
that's the sad thing. Same thing with Fauci.
Vinny, are you okay, bro?
No, I am. It's bullshit,
Okay.
Adam.
Like,
it's bullshit.
I'm with you. And
It's
I want to
bullshit.
understand
No, he's not.
the frustration and the anger.
It is.
I'm just-
How many more times do we have to say it, Adam? Is anybody getting in trouble? Do you believe Epstein was running a blackmail ring? Do you think that there's no client list?
Let me ask this question. Between Brennan and Comey, between
Is he getting his back blown out? What is shaking?
Fauci,
Is he like sitting on a vibrator?
between
What is
Fauci,
this?
you know, what they did with COVID and, you know, all the ties to Wuhan lab, between Epstein, between Kennedy, John F. Kennedy assassination, MLK assassination, 9/11, what happened to 9/11?
And this is
Now, this has to be fake, right? Like this is the guy who's the podcast that is. He had to have paid that guy to make the most obvious retarded comment of all time, just so that he can respond to it and attack the comment, right? Like he had to have like had this guy here for the hour and said, hey, for the next hour, you're gonna defend Diddy and Epstein. And so I can get to look like a hero by criticizing the most obviously retarded take that you can make, right? This is what it seems like. It's like, imagine I held like a debate show, but I just paid people to say things that I pre-planned the response to so that I'm always right.
Classic PBD here. He always interjects and then takes way too long to ask a simple question. You know, once he starts listing things off or giving examples, you might as well just skip ahead a minute. You know, it always takes him forever to get to the point. It's like he goes into sales mode and he's trying to see how long he can talk without really saying anything or just getting to the point. It's hilarious.
As a financial advisor, when you're in it for 25 years, what you learn to do is a needs analysis every day.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What is a needs analysis? A needs analysis, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. What is your income? What are your expenses? How much money do you have in a CD?
Epstein had a blackmail ring and Diddy had a blackmail ring.
What do you have in a 401k? What do you have in a defined benefit? What do you have in a 457? Do you have a 529 for your kids? How important is it for you to put your kids in a private school? How much?
Yo, PBD, shut the fuck up, okay? You don't need a sales analysis sheet in order to know that pedophilia is bad. I determined the risks and rewards for pedophilia. Like, brother, get the fuck off the mic.
Money do you want to set aside for your kids to go to private school? Are you planning on paying for their school tuition or not?
Yo. I can't believe this guy makes money.
Are you planning on letting them go to community? Do you want to do a 50-50? Do you want to have some money for them to start a business? Do you not want to pay anything for them? At what age do you want to retire? How much income do you want to retire with?
Yeah, so it's always just like, dude, get to the point already.
Like,
we get it.
Oh my
But this
God.
is like half his podcast. And now the rest is Vinny flipping out and Adam downplaying sex trafficking and being passive aggressive towards Vinny. It's honestly comedy gold. This show is so funny. I don't know how much longer Vinny will put up with it though, because Adam's always insulting him and being passive aggressive. And Vinny, he gets worked up, but he never really goes back at Adam too hard. So I feel like sooner or later, he's just going to snap and go off on him.
Right.
So, you know, I've been watching a lot of people over the weekend sort of have very emotional responses to what's going on here. And I put these people in 3 categories.
I mean, look, bro, at the end of the day, if you're ever on a side where you're against the emotionally riled up people that are upset about sex trafficking, if you're ever against those people, your entire career is fucked for the rest of your life. Because the only thing that's separating you from being called a pedophile is actually nothing. So you're gonna get called a fucking pedophile. If you defend Epstein, if you defend what's happened, if you say Diddy should be free, maybe you aren't a pedophile, but I don't think that's good enough for most people. I don't think not being a pedophile is good enough when you yourself have defended plenty of them and have advocated for their right to walk the streets. You know, people are gonna call you that. And you're gonna be known as not only a pedo defender, but literally a pedo at this point.
There's
Stupid, stupid, and really stupid.
That's just your 3rd category, Vinny.
Gotcha.
I'll save the best for last.
Gotcha.
Who the
People
fuck
who
is this
want
guy?
the truth and they're frustrated. The second tier of people, I
Is
believe,
what?
are people who are eating their popcorn watching this. And then there's a third type of people, like my friend Vinny, who I love very much. And Jeffrey Epstein is living rent-free in your head.
Again, exactly what I'm talking about. Claiming that because someone wants the truth about Epstein to be released does not make, claiming that that person is obsessed with Epstein, that he's living rent-free in your head. Jeffrey Epstein owns you, little bro. You might be one of the most brain-broken people of all time if you can't see that people wanting justice is totally normal and fair. It's actually human. Like, imagine, like, literally you're in jail, right? You're in jail. This is the men's multivitamin. I did not just fart. You're getting tried for murder. And you're literally going to tell the judge, yo, judge, low-key, the victim's parents, I'm living rent-free in their head. You sound insane, okay? You sound crazy. You sound a little fucking crazy.
And you can't shake it.
Yo.
And every morning you wake
Get
up, you're
a
like,
grip.
dude, we need more information on Epstein.
Actually, I don't
It's
actually.
like you're
Are we still talking about this Hitler guy? This loser?
watching the show.
That's not what I do in the morning.
And you're speculating, oh, it's this guy. It could be him. I don't know what's going on. When the reality is, and I mean this sincerely, you don't know shit, bro.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Because
I'll retort
because
when you're done.
if Pam Bondi is saying certain something, and Kash Patel is saying something.
Oh, I believe them.
And Dan Bongino
Oh,
is saying something.
then
And Trump is saying
the government
something.
wouldn't lie at him. You're right.
Okay,
The government would
I'm
never lie.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
That is literally word for word what you just said.
you don't know. So I have the humility and I have the capacity to say, you know what? Does this matter? Yeah. Can I control any of this? 0.
Hey, can you control the sex trafficking that takes place? No? Well, then just let it happen. You dumb idiot. What the fuck is... It's out of my control, so it shouldn't... You know, when the good of the world is out of my control, I just kind of let the bad shit happen. Actually insane.
If Pam Bondi can't control this, and Dan Bongino can't control this, and Kash Patel, who basically platformed himself on this issue, can't solve this.
And this podcast interviewed Trump last year. And so
Again, like, you literally trust the government.
I'm sure PBD got a call from someone in the administration telling them to tone down the Epstein talk, which PBD himself has kind of done. He doesn't really give his take on it. He just lets Vinny and Adam go at it. So at least Vinny is trying to hold Trump and his administration accountable and isn't just accepting their lies. I mean, Vinny's the only one on the show the fans think is actually being genuine about this, because most of the comments are criticizing PBD and Adam for
Yeah, true. This video has proved that independent media can be just as bad as mainstream media. Pathetic. I completely agree, yeah.
just rolling over for Trump. You know, because now after all these people telling us don't trust the government or the elites and we need to get answers to the Epstein files, we're expected to trust the government and the elites and accept that we won't get answers to the Epstein files. It's so pathetic. I mean, Adam, he's just like, well, Kash, Dan, and Pam, they know more than us, so we should just trust them, which they do know more than us, but that's why we shouldn't trust them. You know, they're clearly lying to us. They know it's in the files, and they're saying the files don't exist, and they're trying to cover it up.
100%.
So who the hell would trust them? You know, it's like going to a crime scene and seeing people cover it up and then asking them what's going on, and they say, nothing, don't worry about it. There's nothing to see here. So then you're just like, all right, well, they saw what happened. They know more than I do, so I'm just going to take their word for it.
The Dan Bongino's entire thing.
Who do you think knows more on this? You or Kash Patel?
What do you mean knows more about this?
Who do you think knows more about this situation?
That now knows exactly what happened and is covering
or
it
Kash
up?
Patel?
Kash Patel, for sure.
Okay, who knows more? You or Pam Bondi?
Pam Bondi has more.
Who knows more? You or
Okay,
Dan
and Adam,
Bongino?
Can you pull up Cash's
So
tweet?
I'm going to listen to them,
And what's
not
your
you.
point, Adam? Well, hold on. You know why that's a dumbass argument? What do they know more? Meaning they saw the dirt, Adam, and now they're being quiet.
Kash Patel knows more, but he won't tell them. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not stupid. Nobody in here is stupid.
Here we go.
You know.
The conspiracy theories just aren't true.
Yeah.
Never have been. It's an honor to serve the President Trump.
At the end of the day, they're unanswered questions. Maybe I'm just a little bit more willing to let this play out.
Well, you're the very few that actually has patience and maybe not rush to judgment.
But you know what
Because
taught
most
me
people
that?
have already made up their mind.
I'm telling you what taught me that.
And then during an episode, Vinny started saying Trump might be in the files, and if he really did anything with kids, then he needs to be held accountable. So Adam starts defending Trump.
Oh, boy.
And again, he's like, really, you don't trust Dan, Kash,
Oh,
or Trump?
boy.
And
Oh,
actually, it's crazy
boy.
not to trust them, even though we know they 100% objectively
Bro, you criticized Trump once? Uh-oh.
lied
Yikes.
to us. So his argument here is ridiculous. He's like, really, Kash is a liar? But of course he is. I mean, it's like he's just trying to set Vinny off, which works, but still everybody took his side. And while Vinny's going off about how he doesn't trust Trump's administration, I don't know if PBD like is uncomfortable about it or something, but he does the funniest shit ever. He interrupts to have the
Let's see it.
producers pull up a map of consciousness.
What? What the fuck?
To have Vinny describe what emotions he
You think Trump is in the file? At this point, yeah. At this point, I do. Because there's the interview with him where he's asked if when he was elected if he would release the Epstein files, and he's like, well, it's rapid fire, right? It was like, would you release the 9/11 files? Yes. Would you release the JFK files? Yes. Would you release the Epstein files? Yes. Well, maybe. There's some people in there that are probably innocent. They would get their lives ruined. So obvious he's talking about himself, which is like to cover his own ass.
he's feeling, just for Vinny to be like, I'm angry. You know, it's so funny. I mean, this show.
We're still talking about Epstein with this creep? This fucking creep, Epstein? We're literally still talking about Epstein. That's a problem with this creep. This creep when he had an island with some kids? I don't understand this Epstein creep. Why are people still talking about him? I don't really get it. It doesn't make sense. Listen, Pam Bondi, if you want to take this one, you absolutely can. But I just want to tell the people, yeah, Epstein letter, he did nothing wrong. And the files, they're not going to be released.
Just unbelievable.
Okay.
What do
This
I want?
creep-
Adam, I want
this
jail.
creep-
And if God forbid the president of the United States was involved with it, guess what? Same for him.
Which president?
Our president.
Okay.
If he
So
was
you
involved,
want Trump to go to jail now?
if he was
Such a straw man.
with underage girls, 1,000%.
So if Trump was with a
I'll
17-year-old
say it
girl
again. When he was
20
40 years
ago,
old, yes.
So you want
It's
Trump to go
called,
to jail?
Adam, hold on. Let me ask you. Is it illegal Can you have sex with a 17-year-old in New York?
35 states.
In New York?
The age is 16. And
Okay,
then in
so
certain states,
There's no way this person's actually saying this.
it's 18. According to some Muslim
I
scriptures,
can't believe
you
this.
could be 9.
So
Vinny.
if-
What the fuck does Muslim scriptures have to do? Is Trump a Muslim now? You think that's
so
what's...
you're so it,
Oh, Epstein. No, known Muslim. No, he's a Jewish person.
it's okay if he was in a different part of land.
Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino.
Oh, no.
Pam
This can't be
Bondi,
real
Who I
life.
trust the
Or
most?
Dude.
whoever's the loudest people on the internet, Tucker, Candace, Dave Smith. Who do you trust more
What do
out
you
of
mean?
that group?
Epstein is a great guy. He likes beautiful women like me. Some of them are on the younger side, so might be a bit of a problem. But, you know, listen, my father gave me a loan of $1 million, and I paid the finest 15-year-olds to throw that wet-ass pussy down at the island.
No. It's a binary option.
No, hold on.
Who do you trust more?
Adam, I don't trust anybody that's lying to me blatantly in my face.
True.
The correlation doesn't match because
Who do you-
those
who
guys
has-
are asking the questions, Adam. They don't know either. They don't know 100%, but you know what they want? Stop bullshitting us. He just nailed it. Why do you keep
So
talking about it? We're talking about it because of you.
Okay, stop yelling. Just because you're yelling, you're not
No,
right.
it just pisses me off.
You can be loud and you can be wrong. It's hard to be loud and wrong.
Show me where I'm wrong and I'll shut up.
But the point is, you're not right. But here we go.
Where
So
am I wrong?
Is Kash Patel lying?
He's not. 100% he's lying.
So 100% Kash Patel's a liar.
From what he said, Adam, he was
Got
in
it.
the administration. He said they had all of it.
Is
Adam.
Dan Bongino a liar?
Yes. Yeah, he did, Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Is
did.
Pam Bondi a liar?
Yes.
Is,
Blatantly lying in front of our
Is
face.
Trump a liar?
I think so, Adam.
Is J.D. Vance?
I think they're all lying to us, Adam.
Dude, what the fuck is
Okay,
this?
So
Even if it's a little lie,
okay,
they
so
lie.
how about this?
They lie.
They're all liars.
Yeah.
Who's right? Because you probably absorbed a lot of content on X. I assume. I know X is your thing.
No,
Who's right out there? Who's your?
This has to be rage bait. Does this person who protects the secret files lie?
You've
Yeah,
already
right.
gone 99%.
Jesus.
Let's go 100. This person. I trust them.
Adam.
Who is it?
I don't trust anybody.
Who do you give?
100%.
You think is this guy knows what he's talking
Jesus
Who's that
Christ,
person?
bro.
about? Is it you?
I trust for all the stuff that I'm seeing, all the stuff that I'm reading, all the dots
You
that we
think
connect.
you think
I have a
because-
problem with that.
because
Go
to me the moment, like if you pull up Power versus Force, Rob, the chart, which one of these feelings do you currently have right now? Go to second one. Yeah, zoom in a little
In
bit.
my life?
No,
Right,
right
on this
now, at
particular
this
issue.
specific moment.
Yes.
At this specific moment,
Enlightenment, like what the fuck
and
does
I
this
want
mean?
you to go to the third column.
Dude, this podcast is the most heaping pile of dog shit I've ever
You know
seen.
where it says level? So go all the way to the bottom. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage,
angry.
neutral. Okay.
I'm
so,
obviously angry.
okay,
Angry Patriot.
So, by the way,
Look at
Are
his
we
shirt.
in- Are we in
but by
therapy?
the way,
I get it.
Are we in therapy?
so you're angry.
Yes.
And then PBD also talks about how
Dude.
he's angry as well, and that's why he doesn't want to give his take on this because he's not in the right state of mind to speculate
Chat.
on it, which is just
What the
total cope.
fuck?
You know, he's buddies with Trump. You had him on the podcast.
Chad, imagine I was upset at someone who was defending the government for lying, and then my buddy said to me, "Hey, calm down. Look at this happiness scale. Would you say you're on a 0 right now?" Oh, I'd crash out.
I'm sure you got to call
I'm airing out the whole fucking
all to
place.
tell him to tone down the Epstein talk. That's why he doesn't go too hard on this, which is causing him to get a lot of shit from his fans. You know, whenever they talk about Epstein, the podcast seems to get a lot of negative comments, except for the ones praising Vinny, of course. You know, he's the only one that people seem to think is trying to tell the truth and be honest about what's going on.
Both parties. Like, trust me, I'm angry. I'm not in a right state to decipher what's going on because I'm coming from an angry place. You know, like, Tico, where he's at and what we're talking about before.
Yeah.
How come we're not doing something?
Yeah.
Like, how are we feeling? Where are we at? We're in what? We're in guilt,
About to ask him if he wants to go on a walk and get ice cream. Yeah, that's where we're at, bro.
anger.
Yeah, and I can't watch. I'm actually getting so pissed off watching this. I literally cannot do it. Anyway, that's about it for that.